This is LAPD monitoring what I'm uploading onto the internet. In the directed light that you see on my walls, let me show you this, they're monitoring. This is the federal stalking. This is the communication of a threat, engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring, entirely demonic in the engineered light, in concert with the people of the state who are surrounding relevant position. As I begin uploading onto the venue of the internet, immediately sounding helicopter activity, that's demonic as well, with simultaneity to what the target individual is doing physically and or on a communication device. That's LAPD using a helicopter. In engineered light, which is on my ceiling, that's the ongoing outward revelation of what are demons that are stalking. That's LAPD, that's a police department exhibiting demon possession. They also exhibited that when they were flying in circles in the specific environment for 47 minutes. This is engineer light, which is supposed to be the product of the sun. All right, and they're flying over in that's group stalking and federal stalking conduct in the specific environment. That's attributed to the people of the state who are monitoring together, okay? This is a demon who is group stalking, not watering her plants. This is not the sun that's outside of my living room window. She's not standing in sunlight. She's engaging in the same old people's method of group stalking somebody by watering plants. She's doing the same thing, maintaining presence in the path while LAPD flies over. Okay, she's doing the exact same thing. This is 1806 number 2. Her and her daughter are going back to where they came from. Okay, but they're going to federal prison first. Okay, I don't care if she has a heart attack in federal prison. And I don't mean to be cruel, but I'm letting you know how serious the federal prosecution is and how it will be no consideration how old you are, because they have no consideration for the rights and the well-being of the target individual. This is the entity that also she acts on more than one occasion. As I walk out of my apartment, they are crossing path group stalking in the specific environment while the entity is group stalking in a red helicopter. I documented this, and the entity goes to take out their trash. That's crossing path and light activity creation while they walk in the engineered light with simultaneity to the entity stalking by helicopter. 1806 number 2 in particular. This old woman is going out engaged. Let me be clear, the demon possessed engage in this very demonic and very malicious pattern. This is what Jung Pak engages in. An old woman that goes to sit on the bench while the entity flies over by helicopter. An old woman that's walking in the back parking lot under the lights with an engineered light while the entity flies over by helicopter. The entity that does the same thing while I am uploading the video documentation onto the venue of the internet. You're looking at the specific environment. You are looking at, like I said, 1806 number 2, she's group stalking. Her and her daughter live here. And they're monitoring, engaged in 24-hour surveillance. She's going to federal prison like everybody else. And this is what they're doing. I'm uploading onto my phone. And at the moment that I start uploading, the entity immediately sounds helicopter activity. That's the federal stalking, Title 18 criminal system. All right, and that's what they're all doing. In the specific environment, engaging in terrorism, impossible light, on my ceiling, inside of my apartment. It does not get any more acute with regard to the identification of the pattern of conduct, not only in relevant position, but in the specific environment. And this, let me show you this light activity. This arrival of this light activity, again, after I captured video, this is really capturing what is the terrorism. First of all, it's never naturally happening. The light source, this is the entity's illusion. So I'm showing you this illusion is demonic. The demonic environment is here because that demon is out there watering their garden, knowing what I'm doing upside. She's maintaining positioning. That's a demon-possessed old person. That's very, very creepy. But I want to be clear, a demon-possessed teenager is creepy as well. Okay, but an old person at that advanced point in life is serving Satan and is focused on me, knows what I'm doing, knows what I'm saying, is monitoring me in the specific environment. You are not being in any way distracted by the fact that she's holding a water hose or she's got gray hair or she's leaning over with wrinkles on her face. This is the same exact body of evidence. Impossible with simultaneity to what I am doing on a communication device. That's the pattern to what I'm doing in the specific environment. You're talking about the impossible placement of light in real-time movement. They're moving, the light is moving around in the environment, and then you're in no way separating what's going on around. That's called group stalking. And it's also terrorism. So let's be reminded, because it's an ongoing, consistent pattern. And the people of the state are going to be prosecuted. Tiffany Sherez is engaging, and Universal Waste Systems Incorporated are engaging in what is terrorism while they are group stalking in the specific environment, surrounding me with engineer light outside while they're in motion. The entity is surrounding me. Tiffany Sherez is still engaging in what is terrorism via directed light, a demon-possessed third party engaged in group stalking at the specific in the specific environment where she is engaged in 24-hour surveillance. She's going to federal prison for that. This is terrorism via directed light. As I'm showing you, it's remaining inside of the walls of the private space. You're a sex offender. Okay, and that is for all 59 units. That includes those under the age of majority. Susana Martinez's daughter. Okay, Hector Aparicio's son. They are engaging in a pattern of, let me be, Susanna Martinez's niece, I believe that's the young daughter's cousin. They're sex offenders. You're engaging in group stalking, and that's why you're removing the minor children, because this is what they are engaged. The state is including minor children in this system of terrorism, and it's a sex offense while it's occurring inside of the private space. It's a sex offense while it occurs on the person of the targeted individual, which the people of the state are engaged in an ongoing cycle, ceaseless cycle of violating the person, molesting the person, because they're obsessed demons who are keeping you under surveillance with light that is not naturally occurring. And it's surrounding all over the walls inside of the private space, while the LAPD exhibiting demon possession, showing you exactly what demons do. That's what demons do. Okay, they're not levitating off the ground wearing red horns and a tail like they want to depict on television. They're stalking you in a very specific environment, a demonic environment. That's what demons are doing. And they want to outwardly appear as though they are some position of honor wearing badges. Okay, because nobody knows what they're doing in secret. And it's not a secret anymore. And it's showing this public safety that actually exists when that secret is fully exposed. Okay, those psychopaths will fly in circles for 47 minutes, targeting somebody that's exposing them. That's a threat. Nothing is stopping them from literally breaking down the door of the target individual and kidnapping them again. This is exactly what the entity has already engaged in. All right. That's also why they're going to federal prison, all 59 units. The aged one of 1806, number 2, she's going to federal prison, her and her daughter, and then they're being shipped back to wherever they came from, because they're not welcome in this country. Engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, and you're not even naturally born here, you've been granted the privilege to be here, you have just met what is the standard for being removed out, being plucked out, being kicked out, and permanently. You're not welcome here. All right. It is currently, that's a sex offense that you just saw an old woman engaging in. She's monitoring someone in the private space. She's doing it by engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, that which you are previously ignorant to, but now you know exactly what's going on. And she's doing it in concert with the corrupt police department who is stalking in a helicopter. All of this is occurring while on this day in 2022, I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library. There would never be any sun nor any sunlight. None of this is what is captured. That's a light source, an engineered light, and it's also inside of the depths of my bedroom. While I happen to be engaged in what is documentation, that is speaking to an ongoing federal investigation, that ongoing criminal act to obstruct justice, to engage in more terrorism. That's speaking to the impermissible threat. And let me be clear, the demon possessed that are engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring shall be subject to what are mental examinations. And you're talking about what is an ongoing enhancement to time in federal prison. LAPD is not looking at just a year in federal prison. They're going for a very long time. They're going to be disbanded, and it's going to be known. It's going to be literally itemized and spelled out in detail what they were engaging in, the system that's in existence and how they were doing it, the real-time knowledge that they maintained while they continued it, and who they were doing it in concert with. And they represent the state, what the state of California is doing. And it goes from the police to the sheriff to the court. All right. It is the pattern of conduct. It is currently 8:33 a.m. and this is P.O.C. This is documentation of what is federal stalking on the venue of the internet. Understand that. Engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring while the target individual is in operation of a communication device, engaged in specifically publishing documentation as well. But it also is occurring when I'm making payments with my credit card, with my debit card, when I'm transferring money, moving money around, when I'm capturing, going into my private accounts. Nothing is private. The entity is engaging in what is federal stalking, keeping you under surveillance, having no privacy whatsoever. How much I'm getting paid at speaker companies is a matter of public information amongst all the entity that is keeping me under surveillance. It's on the email at my job. It's on my phone as I've reviewed it. And this is something that the entity knows about. You're going to sue them for that. There are so many damages that they are suffering, so many federal laws that the entity is in violation of, inherent to being engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. And they're going to be held accountable for all of that. Every bank, every doctor's appointment, every dentist appointment. You're talking about every time they engaged in kidnapping at the state facilitating venues. Oh yeah, all that act of libel that I documented being prepared by so-called doctors, they're going to be removed. They're going to federal prison. That's going to be handled. But understand how they are violating the federal laws, HIPAA laws, while they're monitoring. They're monitoring. These laws are an illusion. And everything that the entity is engaging in, it's incriminating everybody else. Not that I even need the help, because I surrounded them with the evidence already. But what logically follows, so when you're understanding what the system is, how the system operates, then you're putting two and two together of everything that's being violated by a government that's engaging in the system with the people. All right. It is currently, again, 8:35 a.m. This is the engineered light. The light source is outside of that window. The entity is engaged in ongoing surveillance with LAPD. That's why everybody here is going to federal prison. And this is documentation of ongoing terrorism documented inside of the private space. This is the same conduct that you're looking at demons such as Universal Waste, Vanessa Drees of 1812 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 5, Center for Better Life. Okay, Ryder, the African-American male driving a commercial vehicle. You have what? Universal Waste Systems Incorporated. They're doing the same thing. This is just occurring inside. It's stationary and then it's moving in real time, especially as I pointed out, the demon-possessed engage in more of it. You're looking at it while the entity is outside of this window, okay, 11 hours later where the sunset is happening. That's how you know that they're all stalking me, because this is where the sunset is in alignment to me. And you're looking at the engineered light that's all over my walls. That's documentation of terrorism via directed light. All right, they're doing it outside and surrounding me with this engineered light. That's the purpose of it. Demons are stalking an engineered light. A demon is engaging what is crossing path. That's group stalking in concert with engineered light. That's why you were always surrounding the targeted individual with it. That's what demonic activity is. And it's occurring in the environment. That's speaking to a population of the demon possessed who are stalking you. That's telling on everybody, okay? It is currently, again, 8:36 a.m. and this is P.O.C.